you work for Tesla. Tell me about your experience there.
And I think I got overconfident, dumping a lot of money in certain coins, not knowing the timing, the cycles. I went in blindly. I lost most of my money. And it was humbling. And it's hard, a 37-year-old going back to zero.
You cannot scale without other people.
True. I used to live and work in Russia, before Turkey, before South Korea. And then when you see what's happening, what is the neutral place? And the place which gives you all the infrastructures that you need. There is nothing else in the world except Dubai.
If you go to a 1-hour event and you were able to hand out and collect 200 business cards, how many seconds did you actually connect?
You don't actually have a real conversation.
Zero. There's literally zero benefit and outcome. Working just really means connecting.
Especially with my network. I give more than I get back. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to yet another episode here at Bet Talks. My name is Rick Godds, and we are joined with another guest. He is an entrepreneur, crypto trader, ex/Twitter producer, investor. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, AJ. AJ, nice to have you, buddy.
Thank you, bro. How are you?
Yeah, good. Welcome to Bet Talks.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Obviously, here at Bet Talks, we talk about several different topics, mainly focusing on gaming, crypto, Web3, and all emerging tech. We're not an affiliate. We don't promote brands. We're here to have in-depth discussions on all these markets, all these industries, and we like good feedback. We like to hear people's strong opinions, and I know you have such an inspiring story background in several of these different topics. Tell me a little bit about yourself. I mean, tell our viewers sort of what moved you from California to Dubai and how it all began.
Well, good to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Well, I started, first time in Dubai was a vacation in 2016. And then at the time I worked solar energy for Tesla. And so naturally I wanted to go see the Tesla shop. And I saw all the cars and stuff. And I said, hey guys, hey boys, where's the energy side? They're like, we don't have one here. I was like, what? I was like, I have to talk to somebody. And there's like one guy that covers the entire Middle East. Like it was bad. And I said, okay, well, I mean, I'm here. And then they looked me up and we talked and they're like, okay. And then we continued to talk and I offered my services to open up shop for Tesla here in the UAE.
Wow.
Yeah, back in the day. And so I kind of went back and forth to Dubai. The other guy was like in another country at the time, so he had to meet me again. So long story short, I went like twice a year for a couple of years to work on this. And then COVID hit right when we were going to pull the trigger. And that was actually devastating for me. And before then, I was minimal crypto investor, just basics. And I was just all in on energy. And, you know, I don't blame Elon, you know, because he has to change his mind on some things. Like it was costing him a lot of money. And anyways, his goal isn't just solar or energy. His goal is what, cars and then eventually Mars. So,
sure. Did you meet him?
No, I did not.
No.
But I did very well in the state of California. I was #1 in the state for a while, and it was great. So,
impressive.
Yeah, I did very well, and I was very grateful for the job. And then went back home after that. The world shut down, as we know, which was terrible. And then I had a lot of time on my hands because I was also jobless.
Didn't we all?
Yeah,
Didn't
I
we
know,
all?
man. It was scary. Like you couldn't even go outside. You thought you were gonna die, and it just ended up being what it is, like crazy. So. Anyway, so then I started researching crypto a little bit. When I mean research, I mean YouTube's, right? YouTube videos. And I'm like, oh, my friends are making money here. Let me see what's going on. And then I think I got overconfident and I started like taking my Tesla earnings and my bags that I have earned and dumping a lot of money in certain coins, not knowing the timing, the cycles, and everything that takes place, because everyone says crypto is gambling, and yes, to a certain point, of course it is, but there's cycles, there's a science, it just takes so much time.
As well.
Research, yeah. It takes a lot of time and time in the market to understand how it works. So I went in blindly, like watching a Matt Damon commercial, him at crypto.com. You remember that commercial?
Yeah, I remember, yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, bullish. And you know, they changed the arena at Staples Center from Staples Center to crypto.com. And I'm like, okay, that's it. I'm putting in thousands of dollars on
What year was that?
This is COVID.
So 2019,
2020 maybe, I forgot, around there. Anyway, so I lost most of my bet. I lost most of my money. I just straight up, I lost most of it. And I got, of course, upset at myself, and then it was humbling. I'm like, okay, I don't know anything. I got to go back to zero. Like I went back to zero, and it's hard at a 37-year-old going back to zero. It's not easy, you know? So then I found out that Twitter, this is where Twitter is at, or X, sorry, is a very big deal because that's where a lot of the information is. That's where the knowledge is. That's where the crypto, Web3, Bitcoiners are. That's where they talk, they do spaces, they do shows. I actually think you would be a great guy on Twitter as well.
Okay.
So I started jumping, and again, I've had my Twitter account, X, since 2009.
Wow.
Never used it. I had 0 followers when I decided to put, because I was not into social media. Just I enjoy my private life.
So you're an OG.
Yeah. So I then started going into Twitter Spaces. So each profile, obviously, you can look at it. If it's live, if that person is hosting a show, you'll see like a circle around it, like join live, and you could listen in. So I would listen in to all these people, and there were mainly at that time Bitcoiners. You cannot talk about any other crypto. You cannot talk about it. We call them in the space Bitcoin maxis. Okay. I don't know if you ever heard that term.
No.
It's basically Bitcoin and everything else is stupid. Like you can't, like it's, but the thing is I bought everything at that time except Bitcoin. My Bitcoin bag was teeny. I was trying all kinds of things because it was during like Shiba was going on, you know what I mean? So I wanted to get a part of the memes. Memes is what brought me really into crypto, not Bitcoin.
So you're the meme guy.
I ended up being a meme guy.
Okay.
Yeah, and it wasn't intentional. It's just people just poo-pah memes, but not anymore if you're noticing. Not anymore.
Have you noticed the circle that you're talking around? So you're mentioning Tesla, you're mentioning X, Twitter, Shiba. It's all sort of connected. You see?
Yeah, it is.
You see that?
It is.
It's all under the Elon Musk sort of
Elon's
empire. I mean, the guy is incredible. What he's done is incredible. So, obviously, I mean, you work for Tesla. Tell me about your experience there when you was at Tesla.
Sure. Well, they were hardcore, man. But they're great. And I guess one quick story I could tell you about Tesla.
Yeah.
I learned very quickly. I am naturally a salesperson, but I have to believe in whatever I'm selling. Yeah. So Tesla was easy. I believed in it. I believed in the mission. I believe in all that. And I was like, okay. So I went at it, became #1 in the state. It was fun. And then we had the batteries. You know those storage batteries now that people have. Yeah. At the time, we were the first to have it because it was a Tesla product.
So you're collecting the energy and you can sell that.
Yes. Yeah. So you technically could be off grid completely. Yeah. It charges during the day. Yeah. All that stuff. So about a month or two in, we're destroying everybody. We're the only ones with the batteries. And about a month in, we get message down that Elon or the top says, we're releasing the patents. We're not going to be the only ones with it. And I was like, what? Like, we're doing great. What are you talking about? And then, I was talking to the guys above me and they said, well, his goal isn't to spend all his resources on batteries. So he released it. And shortly after, LG made one, all these other companies in Asia made.
Panasonic made one.
And now they're everywhere. Yeah. And so after that, I actually gained a lot of respect for Elon. What I learned is he's always willing to change his mind. He's okay to be wrong. He's fine with being wrong. He's fine to adjust. So I just realized that every single day you have to be willing to change. And change whatever the situation is, whatever the problem is. You have to be willing to pivot. Even if you invested billions or millions or your time and your energy, you have to be willing to pivot. And he will do it on a dime. That's why when he bought X, I was actually very bullish because I almost quit crypto and X, the whole thing, like 10 times. Like I was sick of it. It's brutal, it's time consuming, it's hard. Yeah. And I almost quit, but when he bought X, I'm like, I'm staying. And even though X was bleeding, they were losing billions every year. It was basically a done platform. He bought it and everyone's like, it's gonna be horrible because he overpaid. He paid like 44 billion and it was really worth half. So
that was a lot of that was investors' funds, though,
but still 44 billion.
So he put his equity up for Tesla.
That's a lot, and so either way though, I knew he would turn it around just because of my experience at Tesla. So now it's turned around. So that's kind of my Tesla experience. I learned the basics. We could talk about obviously sales and how to do that. Like I used to also train people how to sell in Tesla because I was doing well. They wanted to promote me and I said no because I was making more money like without that promotion. So I'm like, I'll just train people. And basically, if you want me to talk about that or you want to move on, it's fine, whatever you want. But
listen, we're covering all topics. I think I just wanted to sort of get the basics of it. I mean, it's such a incredible story what you've done. I mean, to admit that obviously you went flat broke at 37 and now you've pulled it back. I mean, congratulations on that. And I wish you all the best even moving forward. So you've made a name for yourself in the crypto space, in the crypto world. You obviously do a lot on X, Twitter. Yeah. You're getting over 400,000 views on your streams. Tell me about this. Tell me about how these streams are working. Okay. What are you promoting? Are you an affiliate? How does it work?
Okay, so backstory, I went into Twitter and turned into a Twitter Spaces host. My first real run with Spaces was with Wall Street Bets. We hosted about 6 months worth of Spaces all the time. It was called Market Talk or NFT Market Talk. That was when NFTs were hot. Yeah. Remember? And then that kind of dwindled, but that's how I started, was with Wall Street Bets as host and me as co-host. Then things started to die down. I started to do in real life events more. I started hanging out with David Meltzer, who's somebody you'd want to talk about because he built the #1 sports agency in the world. Yeah. Jerry Maguire movie was based on his. That's my coach.
With Tom Cruise. Yeah.
Incredible guy. Yeah. Like, you would love him.
And you've been on Grant Cardone as well, yeah?
We did shows on Twitter together, and his brother Gary, who was a big time Bitcoiner.
Wow. I'm a big fan of Grant Cardone.
Yeah, Grant's cool. He's intense,
a cool guy.
Man,
he is intense, yeah.
I love him though. Yeah, I love him. Yeah, we did some stuff together on Twitter. And so, and I almost worked for his brother, Gary, and to build his media company, but he's doing a great job. I still support him all the time.
He has a lot to do with sports betting. Is it sports betting or sport entertainment, yeah?
Gary Cardone?
No, not Gary Cardone.
Grant?
David.
Yeah. David Meltzer is like this super coach. He's an entrepreneur, crazy. Like, he's in so many businesses. Yeah. He's an investor, but he helps a lot of people, man. Yeah. His goal is to like help 1 billion people.
His quote was, "Money is my God."
David Meltzer?
Yeah, that was his quote.
That must have been an old quote. Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't heard him say that. No,
it was an old quote.
Maybe he moved past that part, but he knows what he's doing, and he was a regular guest on the show that I was co-hosting on the live stream. So to move, I guess, to X, right? So as I quit about 10 times and I came back, a friend of mine named David Gokhshtein hit me up, and we used to do Spaces together. I started with him early on Spaces. Big following on X, been around for a long time. He hit me up and he's like, "Hey, let's go live together." And I'm like, "Oh my God, my face." Because on Spaces, you could be in your jammies, you know what I mean? It's radio. It's not this, you know? And that was and I had some practice with David Meltzer because I would do shows with him, office hours and stuff with David Meltzer. So I was like, all right, let's do it. It'll be my warm up. That was, I guess, the timing of it and the algorithm of X at the time, where people don't know. If you don't spend time on a platform, you don't know that. Like, you have a dope Instagram, right? Yeah. So you understand the algorithm of Instagram. Like, you have to understand the algorithm of Twitter. Like if crypto, you want to understand crypto, you have to get around crypto. You have to buy crypto. You probably have to lose a little bit of money sometimes. It's just the way it is. So with X, he hits me up and he says, "Let's go live." And I'm building my studio in my apartment anyways. I was like, all right, let's go live. It's just my warm up. And then we go live, and the timing was cool because it was the Bitcoin ETFs, right? Got approved, was gonna go live. Meme coins were popping off. So algorithm on X was literally announced that he wants more video, and so he's going to favor the ones who do video. So the timing, that was like right after he said that. So the timing was right for the algorithm. So we go on the first day, we had like 10,000, 20,000 live viewers. I was like, oh, that's really cool. Like, that's a lot of people. And then like a week later, we like broke 100,000. Wow. A week later. Nice. And then a week after that, we broke 200,000. And then like a month in, we're over 300,000 live viewers a day.
That's insane.
Yeah, I think our peak was about 380. And it was mainly, and then, you know, my job, I co-hosted and co-produced. My job was basically bring the guests. I brought David Meltzer, I brought Gary Cardone, I brought some celebrity people, and we talked about, it was a talk show, so we talked about everything, but it was centered around the market, crypto, whatever was going on, whatever was breaking at the time. And it blew up, man. It blew up on X, man. We were literally beating everybody. We were beating Alex Jones, we were beating SpaceX launches, everything that was going live, we were beating them. And it was an incredible experience. 5 days a week, 3 hours every single morning at 8 o'clock. It was exhausting. And then we did Twitter Spaces at night. So I was 10 hours a day for a couple months straight. And it was wild ride, bro. And then I had to say bye. I let go of the show. There was a situation to where, contracts, how that can go. And I decided to say, keep the show. It's still doing well. And I'm going to go do my own thing. And a week later, I came to Dubai. And
The rest is history.
Bro, we haven't even talked about that. Dubai is insane. I love this place.
Yeah, I love this place. To me, it's the best city in the world. Xerox processing are focused mainly on two things: acceptance rate and security, achieving an unprecedented level by combining proprietary blockchain infrastructure with broad account security measures. Xerox processing, crypto payments for your business. Hello and welcome back to Bet Talks. My name's Rick Godds and I am joined by a very, very interesting guest. He is an international public author, global businessman, public speaker, multi-award winner, former Mr. Olympia athlete with over 3.3 million followers. Welcome to the show, Seif Al-Hakim.
Brother, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I love the energy.
Really?
The voice was pushing me back.
Yeah, I do have a lot of energy. I mean, but wow, what a bio you have.
I appreciate it, man.
I mean, what you're doing or what you've done so far is pretty incredible.
And still.
Some great engagement regarding social media.
Yeah.
So congratulations on that.
Thank you, brother.
And your own book, Unleash the Alpha Movement.
You will read it.
I will
promise
read it.
On the show.
And you obviously, you wrote this book yourself?
Yeah, I did.
Brilliant, brilliant. So, I mean, with this bio, with this sort of framework that you've created over several years now, I know you're quite a newbie to the UAE, but tell me how it started.
As everybody, I believe, we were in and out of UAE. Correct? You travel for business, you travel. Okay. And I traveled a lot because I used to be in corporate. I used to lead the marketing division of Samsung from the CIS region. So I used to travel even a lot to Dubai at that period of time, but never had the intention to stay. You tell me why? I was fine in where I am. But the moment came, and as business people, we look at opportunities. Sure. We analyze the economic situation, the political situation, and since we all know what's happening in the world right now, like I used to live and work in Russia, before Turkey, before South Korea. And then when you see what's happening, what is the neutral place? A neutral place, and the place which gives you all the infrastructures that you need in order for yourself to develop. Personally, and of course professionally on a business level, there is nothing else in the world except Dubai.
I agree.
So that's why I started my career here, or I would say moved a couple of my businesses here and start running things from Dubai. Incredible. And of course I love it.
Incredible. So how do you find yourself? Obviously you've come from this corporate background, being the CMO of Samsung. I mean, these are huge, one of the biggest brands in the world, top 5 biggest brands in the world. How do you find yourself merging from that corporate industry into entrepreneurial life?
Super tough.
Yeah.
When I left Samsung, I first joined my family business. And like being at Samsung, a CMO, man, you're everywhere. Like on the TV, like on the newspaper, you were hanging out with celebrities, you were like everywhere.
Yeah.
And then the moment came that I said, like, it's finished. I'm gonna start my journey. So I started my family, like joined my family business, and I remember the first 6 months, tough like hell.
I bet.
Simply because it's a absolutely different ball game. I went to the family business and I thought my ego was up. Like I was successful, like early 30s, the youngest CMO in Samsung worldwide. And I thought whatever I put my hand on, I would turn gold.
Yeah.
That's, the ego slash confidence slash.
Yeah.
And then when you hit the floor,
unstoppable.
Exactly. When you hit the floor and you understand it's a totally different ball game, oh shit.
Yeah.
I start to lose myself. Forget about losing everything. When you lose yourself and your belief in yourself, that's that you are a downward spiral. But let's cut it a little bit short. It took me like a year to develop the skills that I need to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Because coming from corporate, let's put it simple. Yes, you need some skills, but it's different than being an entrepreneur. In corporate, at that level, you can like, okay, I need a website done, I need a campaign done, I need this whatever done, and it just get done. In your own personal thing, no. I would say 80% of the things you need to get your hands dirty and do it yourself. Or lead by example. So we're not at a Samsung level, we are building companies, right? So at the beginning, you need to do things with your own hands.
Yeah.
I didn't have this.
Sure.
So that's a big shift.
Absolutely. So another question, I mean, with over sort of 3.3 million followers, I mean, this is incredible engagement. I mean, what you've done, especially in the social media world, is incredible. Here at Bet Talks, we cover everything from gaming/gambling, crypto, AI, metaverse, blockchain, everything emerging tech that is happening within Dubai, which is becoming this tech hub. Now, obviously, you've been with the likes of Samsung, and now obviously Alpha, you've got your own podcast. So, I mean, how long has this Alpha movement been created now?
My whole online presence started, I would say, starting 2017. Okay?
Yeah.
One thing when you're in marketing and you need to be successful, you need to monitor patterns and trends. That's why we are humans. This is very important. You think, you analyze, you research, you see what's happening. So you understood that in the previous era, corporate branding was extremely important.
Sure.
Okay? People just wanted to buy Samsung, wanted to buy, I would say, Apple, and. But who started the movement of the change in consumer behavior? The Gen Zs, the Gen Alphas, and. But Apple, which start to put the personal brand is more important than the corporate brand. Right. So I start to see this pattern emerging. Like Gen Zs and Gen Alphas, they don't care about the company brand. They care about the face that they like, they resonate, and. So I start to build my personal brand starting 2017. Starting to become online. I used to be a black box. Right. So if everybody listening to us and saying, I don't like to be in front of camera, I don't want anybody to know what I'm doing, I was exactly the same.
Yeah.
Then changed. Then Corona came, or COVID came, which completely made me, I can't sit at home, look at the wall. No. So I started to create more content, more, and created the Alpha movement. So for me, just a simple thing, what's an Alpha movement? It's a movement that encourages every single individual to push beyond their potential. And why do I call it the Alpha? Because for me, it's not the regular term of the Alpha, which is the dominating, the egocentric, the controlling behavior. Yeah. It's an absolutely different traits within our modern era. What is the traits that I believe? I say that modern Alphas, it's male and female again, okay? So it's not a male-dominated thing. It's a male and a female. I said Alphas have one thing that everybody don't have, which is our stop button is broken. We don't stop. When we want to get something, we have an objective, we have a goal, our stop button is broken. You cannot stop us. Unbreakable, when you said in the beginning.
Good, yeah.
But these are the people who have the traits of, they take the tough decisions. We are in an era where people are really or rarely taking tough decisions. They leave things to float until we hit the wall.
Sure, yeah.
So take tough decisions, responsible, impactful, influential, taking care of the loved ones. These are all traits of the modern Alpha. So from here came that creating the Alpha movement, it's a tribe that has different pillars underneath. One of them is the book series. The second one is a training platform. The third is a podcast, a magazine, a mastermind, a summit. There's a lot under, but all comes within what I call the Alpha movement.
Wow, interesting. So what advice would you give to young entrepreneurs that are looking to grow their businesses or social media platforms? What one bit of advice would you give to our listeners here at Bet Talks?
Know yourself.
In what way?
In what way? We are listening or getting information these days from everywhere. From myself, from yourself, right? Knowledge and advices from a lot of people.
We're always learning, I think.
We're always learning, but you need to learn. In order to succeed, you need to model something, okay? We're not creating something outside of the box, or we're trying to go to another planet. We're trying to do something that somebody else did it, okay? Yeah. But the problem here is there are a lot of contradictory information, and that doesn't mean it's correct or not. Okay. Contradictory means what? A lot of people comes and tell you, follow your passion, right? But other people, find your purpose.
Yeah.
What the hell do you want me to do?
Well, yeah. What's the in between, Ian?
And some people tell you, okay, Richard Branson, he's my ideal.
Yeah.
Okay, he's an adventure entrepreneur, right?
The Virgin story is incredible.
Exactly. But this guy is an adventure entrepreneur. But Jack Welch, on the other side, told you, no, I can be super successful in a corporate world. Be in corporate or be an entrepreneur. Passion or purpose. Invest in real estate or crypto and stock. These are contradictory things, right?
Complete opposites.
Opposites. But that doesn't mean that they're wrong.
No.
It means what it fits me, who I am.
I personally believe, just in my opinion, the corporate world is an easy, safe option. Whereas, as you say, in the entrepreneurial world, it's tough out there.
True.
It's tough. You haven't got the brands such as Samsung to rely on. You haven't got that corporate fixture. You haven't got these guaranteed sort of fixed.
The brand behind you and. But what I'm trying to drive this part in is like, if I know myself properly, I know which one to follow and get an advice from.
Sure.
Okay, so like I basically say we have 5 types of people. Okay, the 5 types are what? Either you are a strategist, either you're an innovative, either you're an executor, or either you are a visionary, or either you are, I forgot, there are 5 types.
Yeah.
Once you know your type, you can model the people that similar to you. So I know Richard Branson is an innovative character. So I can model his path, and this will fit me. But if I try to model Gandhi, a visionary guy, I will fail. So that's why I try to know yourself first, what you capitalize on your strength. My strength is between being an innovator and being an executor.
Yeah.
So I know these. Whatever else I have, I outsource it to others because these are not my strengths.
Just going back to the Richard Branson story at Virgin, I mean, I've watched several documentaries on it. His key to the growth of Virgin was believing in the team and tailor making the right people to fit the right roles.
True.
Because like you say, you cannot scale without other people.
True. It's a leverage. It's like Jack Ma as well. Jack Ma said the same. My role was to bring the people for the particular roles.
Correct.
So you need to know who you are first. That's one thing to be successful in scale. The second thing, success is never by luck.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's not about motivation, because what we see around us these days, it's everybody clapping, shouting affirmation, jumping up and down, and they think that's the way that you will be successful.
Sure.
You will hit the wall. But success is built on an ecosystem, a blueprint. You've never seen a pilot sitting on a plane, right? Clapping for it to fly, right? That's a motivation.
Yeah.
No, the plane is designed to fly, exactly as businesses. It has an ecosystem of products and services and processes and systems that has been done before. Model it, adapt it, rather than chanting affirmation, I'm gonna do it, because I've seen a lot.
Yeah.
They only operate from motivational, but motivation is like a battery.
Yeah.
It will cut.
I can see just with your bio that you've done, obviously, especially with being Mr. Olympia.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a huge achievement, and obviously you've replicated that obsession into business.
Yeah.
You know, I can see obviously with your attitude, your approach as well. You now obviously got your own book, you got your own podcast. I mean, what is next for Alpha? What is the next big thing that you're visioning?
My mission, literally, is to impact 1 bill.
Okay.
Whatever the tools and tactics that I'm using, or the products and services that I develop, is to make me reach this mission. If I'm positively impacting people in a number of 1 bill, I need a number in order for myself to be accountable for.
Sure.
That is my mission. You will tell me, Seif, where you stand now. I tell you, nowhere. It's like 1 bill is here, I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm just still small. So what is next is huge.
Of course. Yeah. Absolutely. So let's turn on to the Dubai side of things.
Yeah.
Now, I know you've only been here for a couple of years, so you're technically a newbie.
Yeah.
Really, all right. There is so much movement. There's so much growth that's happening, especially in the UAE. Here at Bet Talks, we do cover everything from gaming/gambling.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? I mean, I know you're originally from Egypt. Obviously, you've lived all over the world. Multi-award winner as well, which we can touch base on. But how do you see Dubai in the next 10 years?
Oh my God. I would love to see it. There are always a couple of steps ahead. Dubai is run as a company.
Yeah.
and I think everybody knows this, whatever is good for the company, the management of the company makes it.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna see Dubai in 10 years, everything innovative, safety, super duper infrastructure, ahead of tech.
Yeah.
So what do you need more?
Yeah.
That's Dubai. It always keeps you astonished. You just look at the decisions that they make, the laws that they pass, as like, wow.
Yeah.
And you're always happy to be part of this. So that's in a nutshell Dubai. That's why nobody in Dubai worries about what's happening next, because we know the leadership is doing their best to stay a couple of steps ahead.
Sure.
Not on a regional level, on an international level.
Absolutely.
And that's why you are here, I am here, the people who really pushing their potential, their boundaries, they're here.
I mean, 85% of the country is expats.
Exactly.
Hello and welcome back to Bet Talks. I'm Rick Godds and we are joined by another guest. He is an entrepreneur, multiple business owner. He's resided in Dubai for over 15 years. Get set up in Dubai the right way. Tonye Anyanwu, welcome to Bet Talks.
At least you get a name, right?
Good to see you, buddy. How you doing?
Very good. Thank you for having me. It's a long time coming.
Absolutely. I've been looking forward to this one.
Me too.
You are extremely controversial.
Look who's talking. Don't let this suit just fool anyone.
Oh, absolutely. I needed to bring something good out for this one, so we'll make it work. Great having you on the show.
Likewise. Appreciate you.
I've seen a lot of your content. Yeah. You're a podcast legend and
oh boy.
Yeah, very direct. I like it. Very opinionated.
No bullshit.
And everyone's entitled to their own opinion.
Amen.
So, 15 years in Dubai. Wow.
Wow. Big wow.
Tell me how it all started.
Oh boy. Dubai was a short-term plan, as with millions of people I'm sure that came here. I had family living out here, so it was a frequent destination. I came out here, I was supposed to be very, I think 6 months or so. That was the plan.
Yeah.
Then I realized, okay, I'm either going to stay here and go to school, which I dropped out of school in Canada because, it just wasn't for me. And came out here, I was like, you know what, I'm either going to get a job or find schooling here to stay here as a resident. And I said, you know what, let me go for the school route.
Yeah.
Started off with that. I started a side job, a sales job. I realized I could talk, go figure. So I get into a sales job, started making some coin, Taking in school, I was making money I was the guy people paid to do the courseworks. So I failed in school, which is very ironic. Yeah. But I was making money off courseworks, right? And after a while, I realized, okay, I'm making more money doing the sales job. So I started to ease up on the coursework. Attendance in class started to go down. And after a while, I'm like, oh, here we go again. I'm gonna have to drop out again. Yeah. Because I got to think now, making XYZ dollars, being paid by a client to sell a software, because tech is my background, or going to this dumbass Microsoft Office, Excel, Visual Basic class. Of course, we know what I chose, right? And anyway, fast forward to where we are today, and rest is history.
Wow. Yeah. And 15 years, obviously you've seen some incredible changes here in the UAE.
Oh my God, yes.
Unrecognizable, I would say.
It's because you never really realize it until you look at a previous, it's like when you're building yourself, right, in the gym.
Yeah.
And you look through previous and present picture, you're like, holy shit.
Yeah,
this happened? Is, wow, where, how did I live like that?
Yeah, of course. And some for the good, and I would say some for the bad as well.
Oh, everything's got a plus and minus. Yeah. It's human nature, right? It's got a law of equilibrium.
Absolutely.
So it's fair.
So one thing I want to dive into, get set up in Dubai the right way.
That's right.
This is your sort of logo. This is your statement
on
your social media.
Yeah.
What is the right way?
Oh, the right way is not the wrong way. As annoyingly silly and obvious as that is, everything in life has a right way and a wrong way. Now, I can't say that, I don't want to be pompous and egoistical and narcissistic and say
you normally are.
Well, if it pays the bills, sure, why not? But there are several right ways and there are many wrong ways. Right. Yeah. Now, setting up in Dubai, there's so many ways. When you get into Dubai, right, whether you're doing business, buying a property, you're getting a residence visa, there's so many kinds of visas, freelance visas, golden visas, business visas, partner visas, all these shit. And people are so uninformed because the information is so, it's not as clearly laid out by the government as any other government. It's not the government's job to deliver the information. It's folks, people like me, that are responsible for this, right? And because of that asymmetry in information, people take advantage of it.
Sure.
And give the wrong information just to make a quick buck, right? I always tell people, there were clients, because the people I consult for, I'm like, I am not a salesperson. I am not an employee. This call is a no bullshit guide through my fuck ups, my mistakes, and tell you what I did wrong and the parts you should not go through. And if you're gonna go this way, I guarantee you from my experience, now I own 8 companies in Dubai, 6 a mainland, 2 a free zone, I guarantee you a higher chance of success because I am not telling you what I was told or a script put in front of me. I don't have a salary.
I've been through it.
I've been through the bullshit. I'm still paying fines for my current mistakes. So I'm your scapegoat. I'm your Jesus Christ. I don't know, it's controversial in the Christian guys. I'm your sacrificial lamp on the cross, right? All these years that you can use as a mistake learning experience.
Brilliant. One way I try and sort of explain it, especially to I mean, I've been in Dubai for nearly 6 years now. A lot of people are like, oh, I want to come to Dubai, I want to get set up. How do I do it? I say there's 2 ways. One, you either sponsor yourself, or 2, another company sponsors you.
It's as simple as that.
Simple as that.
It's as simple as that.
But is it as simple as that? I mean, because obviously there's so many different visas, investor visas. I mean, what advice would you give to our listeners on a simple structure to get set up in Dubai the right way?
This is going to sound very, very narcissistic, but send me a fucking DM. I mean, that's not a marketing pitch whatsoever, because the reason I say that is it's almost impossible to know and by the way, I'm not one of those pompous pricks that charge a consultation fee. Anybody I talk to is all free. I talk for hours on end with people, several calls. Like I'm very generous with information. Aside from the content I make on all sorts, I realize that people just value quality information, and it's impossible to know who they're talking to that's misinforming them. So all I can do is just flush out all the wrong information with the right one. Right? One thing I know I'm very, very known for is I ask a lot of questions. I shut the hell up, ask the questions, listen to what they have to say, know and I actually ask 2 questions. Your plan right now and your plan for the future, potentially what you want to scale to now. Nobody guarantees tomorrow, but if you give me your future plan, your roadmap, I can draw out a structure that can actually be scalable to accompany that, right? A lot of consultants, what they do is, especially the free zone consultants, what they do, because they're so incentivized to sell, and the salaried employee on bonuses, right? They just sell whatever is best right now, lock you in, and sell again. So let's say, for example, you want to sell furniture, you want to be a furniture company. I'll ask you, do you plan to only sell furniture for forever? Or do you plan to go into accessories? Do you plan to go into cars? If you tell me, I'm going to scale, why the fuck will I give you a furniture license instead of a general trade license that will allow you scale so you come back and spend 2, 3, 4 times in the future? These are the small little blips that just show, the quality
You're doing
of
a good
service.
discovery.
Big
on
time.
the client.
I mean,
and tailor making the packages to fit them.
1000%. I mean, I don't have a sales team, right? I have a closing team who have been taught based on and I have a closing AI as well, who have been taught based on my knowledge, my recorded calls, my experience. And I think it really all comes down to one thing I really have realized is I have a genuine love for the city and the reputation it holds and the way all the value and benefits giving you and I and millions of others. And I also have a very big affinity for genuinely giving a shit about people I'm talking to, my clients, prospects, whatever it is. Whether or not I have so many clients, I know this, I've given them advice and they've gone to another company and they've grilled that company based on the advice I've given them and they've still used that company. It doesn't matter because 6 months down the road, they DM me saying, listen, thank you, man, I got set up, I didn't do it through you, but hey, I'll still invite them to a beach club. Let's party, you know? And then I build long-term relationships that always equate into, it's not always financial benefits, they're always non-monetary benefits, but those relationships always pay off.
100%.
Always.
100%. And one thing I always say is, I mean, relationships are key in business, right? Especially in the entrepreneurial world. Key. Relationships, and the unpaid work counts. Oh, it does.
Yeah, it does.
And one thing I always say is, Dubai is small, man. Dubai is small.
Big time.
It is small.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If you look at it, there's no end of times you'll go out and you'll bump into someone you know.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
And with a population of, 3.5 million people?
Yeah.
It is small. And if you fuck up that credibility, you're over.
You know what they say, bad news spreads faster than good news.
Fast. So you like I say, I always look at the unpaid work counts and then it'll come back tenfold after. But the company setups, okay, I know that's only one part of your sort of the 8 companies you have. Tell me more about the concierge side of things. It's a whole sort of package.
Absolutely. So the Kamal Group, Kamal Business Hub is the almost a la carte business setup. So a set of business, the visas, the accounting, bank accounts, whatever they cherry pick out of a little menu. Live Up Lifestyle is the buffet. That's the all-in-one, creme de la creme, members club. And it's the first of its kind in Dubai, actually. I know a lot of people claim that the first of its kind. The only reason I built Live Up is initially I was looking to collaborate with what I would want to be a Live Up. And I realized it doesn't exist. Now, there are concierge companies in Dubai. There are car rental companies in Dubai. There are luxury, supercar company clubs in Dubai, whatever.
Yeah.
But there wasn't an actual turnkey all-in-one solution where, for example, you come in as somebody who has some money in their pocket, you want to move into Dubai and have everything covered for you. Your business license renewals, your residence visa renewals, your tax registration, your everything, your bank accounts management, your concierge, get picked up from the airport whenever you arrive. All these are complimentary, just one annual fee. Events, get to meet people, discounts and venues, access to gyms, access to offices all year round, and just have it where you just literally pay one fee and just literally be spoon-fed.
Yeah.
That didn't exist, So I was like, you know what? I have to build this out, right? And that's why I built a Live Up Lifestyle to be this.
So that 15 years of network has all linked into one.
Literally. I mean, it's the most hindsight convergence ever. It's just one of those big eureka moments where and the good thing about what I've done is, and I take very big pride is, I wasn't in a hurry to commercialize this. This is something where it's strictly personal relationships I've leveraged. From me renting supercars, from me buying watches, from me buying jewelry, from me buying renting boats, from me going to events and all that. Every single person where I've done the trial and error, I've gotten fucked over by the wrong guys, lost deposits, been claimed, you rented a Ferrari or a Lamborghini and you damaged the car.
14 speeding fines.
All this bullshit that don't exist, all those mistakes. And now getting to filter or kiss the frogs and now get to the Prince and Princess Charmings and say, listen, know what, guys, I'm going to cherry pick every single quality person, save you a learning curve, and you just come in here and just walk through literally butter. Decent, great people, and more importantly, build a community of like-minded people. You and I know what it's like living outside the UAE. Europe is a shithole. Africa is a shithole. America is a shithole.
US is
big shithole, right? And when you really think about this, and it's less of just of course, the leadership, the politics and all that, but the mindset of the people, they never progress and Dubai is literally a magnet for the most progressive mindsets in the world. People that want to adapt, want to reach out and do so much more.
And if
in
you're
life.
not, you get flushed out quick.
Big time. The system will just spit you so fast out.
I always say to new people coming to Dubai, you've got to be ahead of the game, man. You've got to be slick, right? If not, your competition is so much ahead of the game, and you're going to get flushed out.
Big time.
Listen, it's good to see that sort of what you're doing, and you're building that core team around you, and them core networks that your clients can guarantee that service.
Absolutely. That's the goal part right there.
Absolutely. One thing I want to ask you about is a big part of entrepreneurial life, and everyone is it's always in the UAE, everyone's an investor or everyone's an entrepreneur, which is great. I never knock anyone for giving their all and wanting to grow bigger and better in life.
Of course.
What's your thoughts on networking?
Oh, that's a wonderful question. First of all, I hate the word networking.
Why?
I don't hate it. I mean, by definition, we know what networking means, right? The gathering of people, getting to grow your network, whatever that is, fine. I hate how commercialized networking has become.
How forced it is.
Literally. I literally call what I call serial networkers, I call them professional business card collectors.
Yeah.
That's all they are.
Yeah.
Because I always ask myself, if you go to a 1-hour event and you were able to hand out and collect 200 business cards, how many seconds did you actually connect?
You don't actually have a real conversation.
Zero. Nobody's going to remember you. Yeah, you're going to go to Telegram or whatever and take all these stupid, dumbass selfie pictures that you take. Nobody remembers who the fuck you are. You're so irrelevant, you might as well not even go to the event.
You're sieving through people.
You're literally sieving through. And there's literally zero benefit and outcome as compared to if you went through... I have a very smart, what I like to think is a more effective way of networking. And you also have the personality for it. You have to have the personality or the temperament for it. You have to be...
I think you have to be remembered.
You have to be remembered. You have to be very memorable, right? Now, a lot of people go into a room and they just coin through. It's like, you're as good as furniture. Nobody even knows what perfume you had on, right? And I think if you really go into a networking event or a setting, group of people, now, for me, a networking event can be an elevator. That sounds crazy and counterproductive when you think about it, but anywhere you decently meet someone and leave a long-lasting impression, you just networked. Because why would that person want to interact with you again? Networks are like building blocks. It's like Roblox. You add one Lego extra every single time, right? And I think when you go to events and you really connect with somebody 10, 15, 20 minutes, you're better off doing that and leaving with 5. Now, you got to also have social intelligence. Social intelligence, emotional intelligence, identify who are the key attention grabbers. When I go to an event, I gravitate towards or I become friends with what I call the alpha. And that is usually the guy who's brought everyone together, right? You leave a lasting impression there, they'll do the job for you.
Sure.
And at that point, you get invited to more events automatically, 100%. Right? And beyond that point, people are going to want to get to know you because when you have a great energy about you, people will just come to you.
Of course.
You could be standing alone, just doing whatever. It doesn't matter. Your energy would either attract or repel people, right?
Yeah.
So I think if people are so focused on the wrong thing, which is the superficial end of networking and forgetting networking just really means connecting.
Especially with my network. I give more than I get back.
That's how it's supposed to be.
I give more than
How can you expect anything back if nobody receives anything from you?
Yeah,
Who the fuck are you without giving any relevance or value?
Absolutely.
Literally.
Yeah. I give more than what I get back. But then the ratio outweighs itself tenfold.
Always. It's seeds you plant, right? You plant them in the ground. Okay, you don't see the soil go down, and then all of a sudden you have a sprout, right?
Yeah, for sure.
No, I love that. I love that you have that.
Yeah.